Hey everyone, I'm Mia. Welcome to Her Court Daily. Today's WNBA story is honestly wild. Jessica's got the full breakdown.
Thanks, Mia. Buckle up because this one hits different. When Stephanie White stepped up to the microphone to explain why Caitlin Clark is suddenly out, she dropped one word the Indiana Fever did not have to say. A word that has absolutely nothing to do with a spine or a muscle. And that single word might be the whole story today. She said long-term health and wellness is the most important thing, and that they want her healthy physically, mentally, emotionally. Emotionally. Stop and sit with that for a second, because head coaches do not casually slip the word emotionally into a back injury update unless something deeper is bubbling under the surface, and that's exactly what we're unpacking right now. If you've ever felt like the team is telling you everything except the actual truth, smash that like button and drop a comment telling me what you think they're hiding. Because trust me, by the end of this, you're going to have a theory. Let's start with what we officially know because the timeline itself is bizarre. Caitlin Clark will miss the Saturday game against the Los Angeles Sparks while she recovers from a back injury she suffered against Phoenix, with Indiana coach Stephanie White confirming Friday morning that Clark wouldn't play. And here's the part that raised every eyebrow in the building. White announced Clark had already been ruled out, but noted there is currently no clear timetable for her return, highlighting the Fever's upcoming week off as an opportunity for recovery. No indication, no timeline, no clarity. She's okay. She's going to be out on Saturday. She's doing all right, White said. Obviously, it's a good time as we have all week next week. Now, if you're hearing she's okay and she's doing all right in the same breath as we're shutting her down with no return date, your radar should be going off because those two things do not normally go together. You don't bench a generational superstar who's doing all right unless there's a bigger calculation happening behind the curtain. But that wasn't even the part that made the internet lose its mind. Let's rewind to how she got here, because this back issue did not appear out of thin air. Clark's back issues were aggravated during a physical game against the Mercury, but her health has been in question since the season opener on May 9th, when she left to the locker room multiple times to get her back adjusted. Then it got stranger. A few weeks later, she was a late scratch before the game against the Portland Fire because of her back, a situation that earned the Fever a warning for failing to list her in the original injury report. Read that again. The team got formally warned by the league for not properly disclosing her status. So when people say the Fever are being a little cagey about Caitlin Clark's body, that's not a wild conspiracy theory. That is documented fact. This front office has a track record of keeping her cards close to the chest. And that context changes how you hear every single word out of that Friday press conference. Now here's what almost nobody is connecting, and this is where it gets juicy. Clark left the court during the third quarter of the 111-109 loss to Phoenix because of her back. But the biggest moment happened in the second quarter when Clark went down driving to the basket and Mercury forward. Alyssa Thomas pressed her fist into her throat. Let me say that plainly. A grown professional athlete put a closed fist into Caitlin Clark's windpipe while she was lying defenseless on the floor, and the referees standing right there did nothing. No foul was called on the play during the game, but the WNBA announced the next day that it retroactively issued Thomas a flagrant 2 and gave her a 1-game suspension. So the league office looked at the tape, decided it was bad enough to suspend her, yet somehow 3 officials with a live view in real time saw nothing worth blowing a whistle for. Make that make sense. And this is where I have to give it to Caitlin, because the woman is a warrior. She is tied for 4th in the entire league with 21.2 points a game, and she had 19 points in just 20 minutes against Phoenix. 19 points in 20 minutes, while getting hit in the throat and slammed to the hardwood. That is not a player who's soft, that is a player who is being hunted. But here's the thing the box score won't tell you, and it loops right back to that word emotionally. When you've been through what she's been through, the body heals faster than the mind, and that's the part the team isn't saying out loud. Because here's the real context, the thing that gives that little word its weight. Clark only played in 13 games last season because of a variety of injuries. 13 games. An entire year of her prime essentially stolen by her own body breaking down over and over. White herself spelled it out, saying when you've gone through injury and the traumatic aspect of injury that she had last year, it's ups and downs physically, mentally, and emotionally, and making sure that she's 100% ready to go is the most important thing. Traumatic. That's the coach's word, not mine. And anyone who's ever fought their way back from a serious injury knows exactly what she means. You take one weird step, you feel one little twinge, and your brain screams that you've rebroken everything even when you're perfectly fine. You start questioning whether every ache is a catastrophe. That mental hurdle is brutal, and it is real, and it can absolutely keep a healthy athlete on the bench longer than any X-ray ever would. We've seen this exact movie before with the greats. Think about Derrick Rose after his knee surgeries. The man was physically cleared, his athleticism mostly intact, but for a stretch there, he was playing scared, second-guessing every cut. Or look at Paige Buchers, who after her ACL tear stopped attacking the rim with that same fearless aggression for a long time before she finally got it back. This is not weakness. This is human. And if there's even a sliver of that with Caitlin, no smart organization is going to rush a 24-year-old franchise cornerstone back onto the floor to get her throat punched again. The week off isn't just for her spine. It might be for her head. And honestly, good. Protect her. But here's where the story explodes way past the Fever locker room. Because the biggest name in sports media decided he'd seen enough. Stephen A. Smith went absolutely scorched earth on the entire league. He said there is a flagrant level of resentment that exists when it comes to Caitlin Clark, that it has existed since she arrived in the league, and that she is the cash cow. The cash cow. And then he dropped the line that had everyone talking. He asked if Magic Johnson and Larry Bird wanted to concede the reins to Michael Jordan, clarifying he wasn't comparing Clark to Jordan in ability, but in box office appeal, and said flat out, "She's that girl." Then he aimed straight at the league's wallet. He warned that the league is still building and reminded everyone, don't get in the way of the cash cow, adding, "You want to beat Caitlin Clark? Beat her playing basketball because compromising her ability to play affects ratings, and ratings affect revenue." When Stephen A. Smith is essentially telling the WNBA they're sabotaging their own gold mine. You know the temperature on this thing is volcanic. And the fans? They went nuclear in the replies, with plenty openly floating that Clark should just take her star power and walk. Now, was Caitlin a total innocent victim here? Let's be fair and real, because that's how we do it on this channel. Even Smith acknowledged Clark is hardly innocent, that she plays with emotion, talks trash, and welcomes confrontation, making her an active participant in the league's growing rivalries rather than simply a victim of them. And you know what? That's exactly why we love her. She gives it right back, she doesn't back down, and she's turned every road arena into a sold-out circus. That fire is the whole package. But there's a canyon-sized difference between trash talk and a fist to the throat with no whistle. And the Fever clearly decided enough was enough. So what does Indiana actually do without her? This is the part people are sleeping on. In her absence, the Fever will start Tyasha Harris. And here's the schedule quirk that makes this whole no timeline thing a lot less scary than it sounds. Indiana doesn't play again after Saturday until July 5th. So functionally, Clark is only guaranteed to miss one single game. The no indication language might just be the team buying themselves cover so they're never accused of rushing her. And given that warning they already caught for underreporting her status, you can bet they're being extra careful with every word now. The Fever sit at 10-8, and across 17 games, Clark is averaging 21.2 points, a team-high 8.2 assists, and 4 rebounds while shooting 43% from the field. This team is good with her and dangerous when she's right. And here's a bright spot the doom and gloom crowd is totally ignoring. Remember Sophie Cunningham, Clark's enforcer, the fan favorite who isn't afraid to throw hands for her teammate? She battled her own elbow problem earlier this month, but she's back and she is cooking. She went off for a season-high 24 points in a 113-91 win over the Toronto Tempo, shooting 8 of 11 from the field, including 6 of 7 from three-point territory. So while Caitlin rests that back and clears her head, Sophie is heating up at the perfect time to keep this team afloat. And trust me, if anyone takes a cheap shot while Clark is sidelined, Sophie Cunningham is exactly the wrong person to be standing next to. That's a problem for the rest of the league. So let's bring it all home. The official story is a sore back and a convenient week off. But the word the coach couldn't help but say, emotionally, combined with the documented history of this team hiding the ball on Clark's status, a throat punch that earned a suspension but no foul, and the most powerful voice in sports screaming that the league resents its own superstar, paints a much fuller picture than any injury report. Caitlin Clark isn't just nursing a back. She's navigating the mental scars of a stolen season while playing in a league where, according to Stephen A. Smith himself, some people are happy to see her hurt. The good news? She's tough as nails. She's surrounded by people who'll protect her, and one extra game of rest is nothing compared to a healthy Caitlin in the second half of this season. If you think the Fever are doing the right thing by shutting her down, smash that like button, subscribe so you never miss a single update on this story, and drop me a comment with your prediction for July 5th. Will she come back firing? Because here's the question that's keeping me up at night, and I'll have the answer for you soon. What happens the very first time someone takes another cheap shot at Caitlin Clark and Sophie Cunningham is standing right there? You do not want to miss that one. I'm out.